this light, I'll never see it again, which is very logical because there's no place for that thing to have hidden. There was not a single cloud in the sky, which, by the way, in Rochester, New York, that's quite unusual. We always get clouds, but not on this day. So I'm looking at this, but my son is like screaming for my attention. Daddy, I want to talk to you. I'm like, stop, hold on, I'm looking at something. That's what I'm saying. And then I thought, he's starting to get panicky. So I thought, I'm going to point to hold that thing's place in the sky.
Yeah, right. So you don't lose
I
it.
turned to him for 1 second. I said, I'm watching something, hang on. And I go back and it was gone. And then I spent the next 5 minutes scanning the sky, and it just was gone. Now, what was strange about it is I feel like I had this bizarre feeling in my mind that I should not look away from it or I would lose it. And then that's exactly what happened. So
A
was
lot
that?
of times they can read your mind, your thoughts from a distance.
Yes. I mean, look, if I just want to be
So if
totally
you're thinking of that, then it's going to happen.
right. Well, in 1999, I was a lot more conventional of a thinker than I might be now. So that's one thing. But also, I mean, I was even aware then, go through the literature of sightings, there's all kinds of telepathic communications people report. It's almost a cliche because it's so common. So I feel like that probably was happening with me. And maybe I've always interpreted it as them actually saying to me, don't look away. This is our little gift. Don't blow it, buddy. But I had a screaming 3-year-old who was starting to spaz out pretty bad. So I had to deal with my son.
That's a pretty good story.
That's not a bad one. I mean, people have had many better sightings, more clear sightings than what I had.
It's not about better or worse. I just want to know that if you had one or not.
I had that, and I had one other. Some years later, I was with my first wife and my daughter. She was about 8 years old, so that would have been about 2006. And we were going for a walk with our dog at night. It was in midsummer, earlier than the meteor showers you get in August.
Okay.
That's the Perseids. Now, maybe this was a meteor, but here's the weird thing. We're walking the dog. It's nighttime, beautiful sky, very thin, wispy layer of clouds. And I'm a goofy. So I did.
Wow.
So my wife, my daughter, and I all looked up and we saw this light zooming across the sky. But I've seen meteors. This was slower than a meteor.
Okay.
It was also steady, very bright. It looked like it was what it looked like? A very, very fast moving aerial object. That's what it looked like. It's going straight across the sky, and then it goes into this thin, wispy layer of cloud and never comes out. And my daughter, she was 8 years old, she gets scared. We're doing this as a live little thing here, so just want to let you know.
I understand.
So my daughter gets scared, and I try to calm her down, and I just said, no, it was probably a meteorite. But I never believed it was a meteorite. And years later, I remember talking with her about that, and her eyesight was better than mine. And she remembered it very well as a young adult, and she said, oh no, that was a very, very clear object to me. She did not believe it was a meteorite as a young adult. So, again, there's this, it's like a mind connection. I mean,
No, there is a mind connection.
Yeah.
We read our thoughts.
yes,
The thoughts are not private, so that they know.
Look, I'm lucky that I'm friends with Russell Targ, who's 91 years old and one of the real fathers of remote viewing. He helped to create the protocols at Stanford Research Institute in the 1970s, along with Hal Puthoff, people like Ingo Swann. And Russell, he's still around, and he's very upfront. He says, with good remote viewing, there are no secrets. And that's us, that's humans. So if you have presumably a species that's a little better at it, that tells me it all goes out to them. That's what I suspect. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I'm speculating, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what it looks like. They can, and also, how many times do you hear of telepathic type communication between us and them? It's almost the norm. It's the norm. So somehow they're able to get into our heads. And I'll go further, cognitively manipulate us. Like, in other words, emotional centers. What way is it? Ask yourself. People get these feelings sometimes of intense fear in reaction to these things. They just completely freak out. But other times, absolute like love. Why? Now, I'm not saying anything bad about these kids. Maybe they're worthy of love, but I don't know them. I'm not just going to throw out. I'm serious here. I'm going to love some perfect stranger that looks like a 7 foot tall insect, by the way. And yet people will report feelings of like, they're like a bad boyfriend, I sometimes think. It's like, we love you. We love you. You're special.
And that's when they come closer, and then you get the fearful, and they back up.
But they do. And right, I'm not saying they're all manipulative, but I am saying they can be manipulative. And maybe they are, maybe it's for a good purpose in their mind, but they can manipulate our emotional responses. I believe that. And, that's just something to keep in mind. It could be for their own purposes. I'm sure it's for their own purposes. Those purposes may not be adverse to our own, but it is we meet with them on their terms. They call the shots. They decide when they're going to talk with us, when they meet with us, when they interact, when they come into your bedroom. They decide when they come up to a military vessel and shut their electronics down.
Right, I saw that. Was actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's all on their terms. So they might look down on us as like, nice, don't step on the flowers, be careful with these humans. But they might also look at us with any number of other reactions, maybe disdain, maybe concern, maybe like, what's wrong with you stupid people? I don't know. There may be a lot of reactions there that would prompt them to think, we know better than you. We're going to manage you. Like, I could see that. And I can also see, I'm just spitballing here, but I could also see that there's different groups. They may not all be on the same page. Some might be like, yes, we like these humans. Others might be, are you kidding? Look at them. They don't even deserve to be here. They're a danger. They're a menace. We need to push them aside. How is that difficult to conclude? If you were a visiting higher intelligent species looking at what this species of ours is, look, I'm not here to hate on humanity, but let's just get real. We're dangerous. We've spent our entire history is looking over fences with weapons at each other.
Yes, that's true.
That's our whole existence. So it's not hard to think that another species might look a little bit askance at that. I'm going off here because we're going live.
I didn't want to be recorded yet, so I'm like this.
You're holding back. You're being very nice about it. You didn't know. You didn't know you're going to get sucked right into it. In the vortex.
I'm okay with it.
All right. I think you're off camera. Yeah. You're off camera. Did you want to ask anything else or?
No, man.
All right.
You can talk to the camera if you want.
I think I'm good. I mean, what else? Am I supposed to say anything else here? I don't know. Doing a little mini lecture. My voice is. Oh, hi everybody. Okay, hold that thought. So I just did I did a total of 3 hours yesterday and today with Jesse Michael. So that will be out. I just talked with him probably in about a month. So it might be a few weeks. But that was very, very productive. I had a very, very good conversation with him. It was a lot of fun. I think people will like it. That guy is ultra intelligent. He is an exceptionally intelligent young guy. It was a real treat to talk with him. I did another thing earlier with a bunch of other people. I'm forgetting now, but everyone's good. And so Tracy did, in my opinion, I'm biased, I'll admit this, but I think it was I honestly think it could have been the best lecture of the whole weekend. I thought she hit a grand slam home run right over the center field wall. Barry Bonds, 450 feet. That's what I think she did. It was not just remote viewing. It was about really her psychic life, but not just, it wasn't about her. It was about how that whole thing came about so that other people can understand, oh, I might be able to do this too. She was really offering a kind of roadmap for people to learn how to listen to that part of you that taps into the other side. That's, I think, what she was really trying to do. I'm lucky. I get to talk with her every night and every morning.
Someone said Tracy was amazing in the psionics panel.
Yes, I'm glad. You know, I had to give a lecture during that, so I could not see her contribution, but I'm not surprised, and I've heard this from many people. And yeah, she told her Orlando story, which is, that's an amazing story. She's told it many times, but it's a kick-ass story, let's face it. And she did great at that panel, I've heard. Bye, everybody.